What's going on, boys? It's your boy Cerrone Macaroni MMA here, back in another video, and today we're gonna be talking about the fights we need to make that need to happen after UFC Belgrade just ended yesterday. And that card, I went over already in the results for the card, but that card was so good. It broke a record with like the most first round finishes, I think, and I won't lie, coming into that card I was downplaying it, but it was actually pretty good. But today we're going over specific matchups that need to happen, calls that have been made, good matchups that I think would like fit, the person. But honestly, man, let's just get straight into it. We got some some matchups to talk about that are pretty good. But the first matchup being Earl Smetic versus Leon Edwards. Now, obviously we know Earl Smetic just came off a very quick, easy, and nasty KO win on D-Rod Dan Rodriguez. I mean, we all know the outcome of that fight really because, no offense to D-Rod, but like that 8 months in prison, man, like he just did not look like how he normally would. But I mean, at the same time, Earl Smetic is like still he's like one of the best knockout artists in the welterweight division. You could say in the UFC, but I feel like that's kind of a stretch. But anyways, coming up one against D-Rod, he called out Carlos Prates. He brought out Leon Edwards. The Carlos Prates fight is way out of his reach. Carlos Prates' next fight should be for the welterweight belt, or maybe like a ranked matchup, or like against Michael Morales, whoever. But Carlos Prates' next matchup is going to be at the highest level of welterweight. Euros Medic, brother, you just beat the number 15 ranked fighter. You're gonna be with like 2 spots maybe. Three could be probably two. I would say could be three, but most likely two. But like still, he should not be nowhere near Carlos Prates. And Leon Edwards, I heard him being brought up. This fight to me would not be the worst fight. Obviously, Leon Edwards, he's on a bad losing streak. He's on a 4 fight losing streak. He's been getting destroyed by like all the top welterweights, bro. Right? Like he lost to Bilal, lost the belt to Bilal, lost to Sean Brady, and he lost to Carlos Prates last November on the JDM Makachev card. And it just has not looked great for him. Like he's not a bad fighter at all. He still can go at it. He's only 34, right? But at the same time, reversing a guy like Earl Medic, I just feel like he's not going to be able to stop the barrage of strikes Earthman's gonna throw at him, bro. Because the way Medic caught D-Rod, bro, that was nasty. And he just looked like dominant. Like to me, like we all knew the outcome of that fight. But I think in this fight, yes, I think Leon Edwards will still get finished in this fight, but this fight will be way more competitive than a D-Rod fight just because Leon Edwards can last long in fights, bro. He's never like he's not get finished in the first round like ever really. His fights usually last at least like to round two. I think this fight will go to round two. But ultimately this will be like if he beat Leon Edwards, Eros Medic would definitely be like he's moving up quick. But if he beat Leon Edwards, he would definitely be closer to winning the belt. But I do think Eros Medic gets beat up by I think he gets beat up by Sean Brady, Bonfim, Michael Morales, Carlos Prates, JDM, and Islam Makhachev, and Ian Gary. I do think like people are talking. I saw people on Twitter talking about, oh, Earl Smetic can beat Ian Gary. It's like, brother, no, he cannot. First of all, Earl Smetic is like he's a smaller guy in that fight. He probably wouldn't be able to reach Ian Gary. You're not just control distance in that fight, really. But like that's a different story for another time. But anyways, so this fight would be a nice I feel like to find a where to put this fight at. This fight would be really nice on a main card of a numbered event. I would not want to see this fight on a fight night or a fight night main event. No. Please, UFC. Please, bro. Eros Medic, he does want to fight Leon Edwards. He does want to fight him. So please make this fight and please put it on a proper card surrounded by other good fights, bro. Please. But we can move on to the next. That being Dan Rodriguez. And who is he going to fight? Kevin Holland. Yes, these two fought in the past. D-Rod won. And Kevin Holland, I feel like Kevin Holland really should, had that Jacoby Smith fight rebooked, bro. Because, like, I wouldn't say he kind of ducked him a little bit, bro. But like Kevin Holland is still one of the most active fighters in the UFC, bro. But anyways, like he kind of dug Jacoby Smith. I did want to see that fight more. That was supposed to be on the Oklahoma card, but it got replaced by a different fight. But he did get injured, so I mean he kind of did duck Jacoby Smith. But at the same time, I would want to see him versus D-Rod, just because I feel like in the rematch, Kevin Holland would definitely beat D-Rod. I mean this fight could definitely be a fight night main event or a fight night co-main event. Like genuinely, probably a co-main event just because D-Rod's out the rankings most likely because he's number 15, he's lost. So he's definitely out. But Kevin Holland versus D-Rod, that'd be good because their last fight was pretty good. A lot of back and forth. D-Rod looks more sharper in that fight, but I would like to see this fight, and I would definitely say Kevin Holland has a way better chance of beating D-Rod than the last fight they had. But this fight is a nice fight. Should be on a fight night, not a numbered. It could be on a numbered event, but Kevin Holland like this fight could happen. And so obviously D-Rod got finished. He wasn't fully knocked out, but he wasn't defending himself in that fight, and he had to stop it. But this fight generally could be coming up like before 331. Like before 331 happens, this fight definitely could be made. Same with Leon Edwards. Edwards match took no damage. Edwards match versus Leon Edwards could literally happen on UFC 331. That'd be a nice fight. And then this fight could happen before 331 on like a fight night they have in between the numbered events. So this will also be this fight should be made. Kevin Holland called him back out again. They want to rematch. Make it happen. Let's see it. We can move on here. Being next up, Navajo Sterling. Now Navajo did say he wanted to fight Paulo Costa as well, or Khalil Rountree, but I do think Paulo Costa, a fight that I want to see with Paulo Costa is against Magomed Ankalaev. That fight needs to happen. The beef between it, going back and forth, and that fight should be for interim belt. And whoever wins that should versus Oberg next year for the light heavyweight championship. But I feel like I like the Khalil Rountree fight better just because one Khalil, I think he's like fifth. I remember Khalil, he was supposed to fight Ankalaev for an Abu Dhabi. To me, I don't really think he deserved to fight the number contender in light heavyweight. I just didn't really see that. Like to me, that like he was kind of undeserved. He did fight for the belt at one point. Khalil's a very durable guy. But I do think if Navajo's knocking down, like he's knocking down Jan Blachowicz and finishing him, and finishing him in his own blood splatter, bro, this Navajo can definitely finish Khalil Rountree. I like Khalil Rountree. He's quicker, on the feet than Jan, but Jan has the power. I mean, Jan's power's kind of shorter now, but Khalil is a very durable guy. I do think this fight's gonna stay on the feet. Khalil could, like this fight could go to the ground, but I think it goes to the ground. Navajo has a very good chance of surviving because he survived against Kutalaba. Kutalaba he's one of the oddities in light heavyweight, like his grappling ability, and Navajo's starting to survive and then finishing him on the ground. I think Navajo definitely could win this fight for sure. He has a very good chance of winning. The way he's beating up people in light heavyweight, like he beat Kutalaba, beat Blachowicz, he's beat other guys before, but those guys we don't care about. We care about the ranked matchups he's had. And Navajo Sterling truly is he's one of those guys that I'm still not completely sold on him, but I do think he definitely is a really good fighter. I never hated on his ability. I just didn't think he had that much power to his hands, but he's knocked down Jan Blachowicz. But at the same time, Jan's 43. But anyways, this fight would be really good. There's another fight you could literally put this fight could be on a fight night. Really could be on a fight night. Could be a main event for a fight night. I feel like Khalil is ready to go. Obviously he had to drop out his fight against Ankh for injury, and Navajo didn't really take that much damage in the Jan fight. Like he got hit a little bit, but no visible damage. Seems fine. He'll be cleared soon to fight, so not a big deal. But honestly, yeah, Navajo's a very good chance of winning this fight. This will be a nice fight, a nice physical fight. You could see Khalil does, he does get cut pretty easily. But yeah, we can just move on, I would like to see this fight though. This is a really good fight. Move on next, Mike Oliveira just made his debut on UFC Belgrade, and he did say, okay, I'm gonna give some backstory to why I think he should fight Chidi Jokani. First of all, if you don't know, now you know. Jeff Neal dropped out against Chidi Jokani because of injury. And that was kind of, that kind of worsens the UFC 30 card because Jeff Neal is not a bad fighter and he's A lot of fans like him. He's fun to watch. He can create highlights if he needs to. And against Joe Connie, that'd be a nice fight. But I would say Mike Oliveira, the reason why I have this fight being made is Mike Oliveira, first of all, he said he would like to fill in against Joe Connie and fight him in UFC 330. And I think, if possible, please put on that card because he would definitely boost the overall of the current cards, like the way it looks now. He would definitely boost it, bro. Mike Oliveira is one of the most exciting prospects I've been excited for because, first of all, look at this dude. Second of all, he finished Oban Elliott. Like Oban Elliott barely even landed strikes on him. And he just, knocked him out cold with like a bunch of strikes on the ground. He ground and pounded him. And I think stuff like with Joe Connie, I think, Oliveira obviously is the speedier, more explosive fighter, but Joe Connie is still the dangerous guy on the feet. For sure. He has like the Muay Thai striking, right? Extremely long reach. Michael Oliveira is also a long guy, but I think I'm pretty sure Joe Connie has like the longer reach than Oliveira. This is like Joe Connie's like 80 something reach, whatever, somewhere around there. And he has shown signs of, having a lot of power in his strikes in his fights. Like he's knocked out some guys, and I would say this fight would be like a fun fight. This fight that like it's not gonna be like the Oban Elliott fight for Oliveira. This fight's gonna last, I would say, to round 2 to me. But then I feel like this fight's kind of one-sided. A prospect against a guy who's been in the game for a while. But Oliveira, if he beat Joe Connie, if Oliveira needs to beat, for Oliveira to get a ranked matchup, he needs to clear Joe Connie, get another matchup, against a guy who's like, kind of sitting outside the rankings, and then he can move on and just like get into the rankings, bro. Because one, he's undefeated. Two, I believe all his fights have been, like by finish. So a very fun fight. Please add Oliveira to a UFC 230, bro. That would definitely help the card and it would definitely make it more entertaining. But anyways, man, we just move on to the next fight I've made here. That being, now this fight to me would be one of the most. This will be a war, bro. I'm just saying this will be a war. It'd be Tafik Musayev coming off a win against a little bit Klein. Klein didn't really look like himself in that fight. I kind of like was like confused. Like he was like fighting more timid and kind of counter striking, but not letting that much strikes on Musayev because how quick he is. But I'll have Musayev versus Manuel Torres in this, and I feel like this fight, like I said before, it would be a war. To me, like obviously we can go. Manuel Torres obviously is kind of a loss to a spinning head kick by Rafael Fiziev. That was kind of like a unexpected move by him. Manuel got knocked up, but Manuel Torres still El Loco. This dude is still dangerous, bro. First of all, I would say that Manuel Torres to me he's a stronger striker. Like he has more power than Musayev, but Musayev is quicker. First of all, good takedown defense. We saw it in the Livid Klein fight. He was really keeping up with Klein. You could see it even before, like in the first 10 to 15 seconds of the fight against Klein, he looked quicker than him. And I think he's quicker than Manuel Torres as well. But Manuel Torres is still a quick guy. But the problem with Manuel Torres is that not the problem, but the problem in this fight for Musayev to go against Manuel Torres is that the power is if Torres can land a clean 1 or 2 strikes on Musayev and just stun him and get a knockdown and finish him up, bro, Musayev has to be very careful of his head movement in this fight because Torres is really good at tracking someone down and finishing them with a shot. But I will say, Musayev has the cleaner technique to me in terms of his fighting style. But Torres is an aggressive guy. He's aggressive. He's going to come straight forward at you. So this fight to me will be a really good fight. I would still take, I would say it's a very close fight, but to me this fight will go either way. Both of you guys have knockout power. Manuel Torres' chin is not, he's not extremely chinny, but he's still, his chin's not one of the strongest, bro. He could definitely get finished, and Musayev is definitely gonna get finished too. But this, to me, this is one of the most interesting fights. This could definitely be in a fight night, a fight night prelim fight. Or no, not even a prelim. We could put this on the main card because Torres is still ranked, I believe. I think he's 15. He dropped down with the Fiziev loss, but good fight. Make this fight happen soon. Actually, not too soon because Torres kind of got knocked out with a head kick, but definitely before the end of the year, I want to see Torres fight news hopefully it gets with sagas. This is a good fight to make. Next up, we have Matiz Rebechki versus Nadim Sadikov. Before I even get to Rebechki, obviously coming off a nice win against Kyle Preplik, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But to me, this fight, not the fight, but to me, Nazim Sadikov, the way he got finished is like he versed Mateusz Camilo on the Azerbaijan card. And it's a kind of a controversial win for Camilo just because a lot of people were thinking that Sadikov was like I would say the way he got trapped like he was like out cold, but he got back up pretty quickly and he was just taking strikes. He still like a couple strikes, but he got back up. But I would say that kind of controversial. But the fight went on longer. I think Sadikov would have got it, but Camilo's a dangerous striker as well. But like still, but I think seeing the way Sadikov fights, I would say Sadikov is another aggressive fighter in some of the matches I've been making on this in this video so far. He's a southpaw. Nice, very nice, clean boxing. If you watch him fight, he's very clean boxing. And he has a good finishing ability, bro. He's finished a couple of his fights in the UFC. He's not. I remember like I just keep on thinking about this fight, but one bit of memory I have of Sadikov was when he versed Vyacheslav Borislav. I forget what card it was, but that fight, bro, go back and watch that fight. Yes, it was a draw, but that fight was like, bro, I don't understand Borisov survived, but you could see like the damage that Sadikov does to people. He did in fights before the Camilo fight as well. But to me, Rebechki, I think the way Rebechki can win this fight, because Rebechki's a very good wrestler, good grappler. She showed it in the fight, taking on Prepper like and ground and pounding him and finishing him off. But I feel like he's not the best striker, and like when it comes to striking exchanges. So in a striking exchange, you want to stay away from that against Sadikov. But I think his main objective to win this fight would to really be to keep this fight on the ground. Take down Sadikov, control him, and look for a submission. Because Reshi's a very good grappler. He can submit people if he wants to, or if he needs to. I would say against the right opponent. But I would say he needs to really keep it against Sadikov. Because Sadikov is he's aggressive. Lots of power to him. He could knock out Rebechki one shot with clean shots at the jaw, but I do think Rebechki has a good chance of winning this fight. Just keep this fight on the ground for the most of the fight, not all the fight, but some a good amount of the fight. They control time, and he could win this by a decision. This would be a nice fight to make. Rebechki once again another guy not taking much damage because he had a first round finish against Pepperlick. Pepperlick was he's a can, bro. Nobody cares about Pepperlick, but like. This fight could be made soon because Sadikov, he obviously got finished, but he literally got right back up and he looked fine. So this fight could be made pretty soon. Could be seeing Rebechki fight news against Sadikov. I would like to see this fight. Could be on a fight night. I would say like there are a good amount of fights in here. Like obviously the next fight card, I've been making a prediction video on this fight card too. Salka versus Gamrot. Like a lot of these fights could be put in this Gamrot versus Salka card, but realistically they wouldn't. You wouldn't see a UFC fighter fighting in today's MMA world. You wouldn't see a UFC fighter fighting a week after they had another fight before. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. But a lot of these fights could go on the South Cup versus Gamera card for sure, because a lot of these fights would be really good prelims, or some of these could be even put in the main card as well. Like, really bounce up the card and make it, pretty good surrounding the main event, because the main event's really good. But anyways, yeah, I think Ramesh can keep it on the ground. He really could find a submission here and beat Sakov, be nice. But Sadikov keeps it on the feet, stuff his takedowns, gets out the grappling exchanges with him, and, stay on the feet and strike with him, then the fight is over. But 50-50 fight. We can move on to the last matchup I made here. That being Robert Valentin, versus Marco Tulio. This fight would be a banger, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm not a bad matchmaker. This fight will be nice. This fight will be a good fight. I like this fight a lot. Let's start with Valentin, bro. Valentin is a very good grappler. We saw it in the last fight. Bro, my mind is blanking on who he fought. He fought what's his name? I think he fought Dusko Todorovic, right? Or yeah, he did fight Dusko. He did fight Dusko. I don't know why I was blanking on that, but he fought Dusko Todorovic, yeah. But yeah, I guess Marcus Tulio, we start with Valentine. He had very good grappling in the fight. He ended up submitting Total Rush. So we know he has grappling ability. He is a pretty chinny guy. He's been finished a good amount of times in the UFC. He might lost in the UFC, but Tulio, I think in this fight, Valentine can definitely stay on the feet and striker people, but Tulio is a very dangerous guy on the feet. Another guy who I've matched made against, a guy from the Belgrade card, who's a very quick, speedy fighter. Until he has a lot of knockout power, I do think Rob Zilla could. Rob Zilla could stay on the feet with Tulio, but Tulio, to me, Tulio would definitely slip by and win those striking exchanges against Valentine. But this fight will be another a nice, cool fight on a prelims of a card, numbered fight. It doesn't matter. It's just a nice fight because Tulio hasn't fought in some time. Valentine's got off a win with the reverse, taking his damage, submitted him pretty easily. So this fight will be nice. A very good fight. A good matchup. Kind of another grappler versus striker. But Valentine can strike though. Let's not count him out on the striking game. But I would say he's kind of chinny, so he's a watch out for Tulio's, overhands and the uppercuts. Like he's, very powerful guy. But anyways, that's gonna be the end of the video. If you enjoyed, the video, enjoy the content. We have a lot more coming out too. Like, subscribe. That's gonna be it for today. The Salka versus Gamrot predictions video is going to come out, probably in the middle of the week, but next video is going to be a car builder. So watch out for that. And that's going to be all it. That's going to be it for this video, and peace.